Both Nate and Shane graduated from the same high school I did, so they were a year younger than me. And I saw on social media that they had started this Project Wildness. Him and Shane had started that, where they were going to go and travel around the western half of the United States and make a difference in people's lives. I've always had an adventurous spirit, but you know, different life paths take you in different places, and my adventure is being a father, being you know, a provider for a family, and this situation just worked out perfectly where I could follow their path, see what they're doing, not be there with them, but really be a part of it in making a difference in people's lives.
A lot of people, not just David, have that same feeling that this is something they want to do, and that is drive around the country, experiencing our country, and at the same time meeting people that we're not going to meet normally in our everyday life outside of our local or regional culture, and get to hear their stories and do random acts of kindness, either to recognize them or help them if they need help with anything. And so what we actually get to do is, with money from people like David or other people, is connect these two. So we get to go out and experience these adventures and tell the story.
They wanted to just make a difference in people's lives, be it small or large. So they made the decision to just drive for however long it took and see things that needed to be done, or they thought this person could use some help, or different things like that. So be it buying bottles of water for somebody, buying food at food trucks, lemonade stands, veterans. They helped a lot of veterans out on the way. They both gave a little bit of money, and they didn't fund any of their trip with the donations given. Everything went out to people, and they funded the rest of the trip with their own funds.
This girl who's 27, she has 3 little girls, all under 5, and their father, who's 30, had unexpectedly died in a car accident. So we thought, okay, when we get back, because this lady lives in St. Cloud, we're gonna go down and meet her and help her out. So I went out to Target one night and just bought a ton of presents, and I wrapped them all up that night, and then the next morning, Nate and I woke up early and drove down there and met her, and it was unbelievable.
We got in there and started talking to her, and just really, and she realized, I think, that we were there to listen, and we were there to comfort if we could, and if we couldn't, you know, let her grieve, you know. And I think she appreciated that. We sat for probably about at least a couple hours, maybe.
There's a lot of emotions going on with the stories we were hearing and stuff, and these little girls, they would every once in a while come over to their mother and give her a hug or bring a tissue over for her, and I mean, it was incredible. And so that moment where I was finally like, okay, we have to open these, I was like, time to open the presents. And they went to town. I mean, it was just throwing wrapping paper everywhere. Even like the littlest one, when she got her Minnie Mouse out, I mean, one of the Minnie Mouses was a big stuffed animal bigger than her, and it's just, I mean, she just gave this thing a hug. It was incredible.
In the meantime of the 3 girls just tearing these gifts open, I felt emotional, and I felt like it was very special just to have her lean over and just say, this is as happy as I've seen them, you know, since their dad died, which, I mean, at that moment, and I think maybe even before, but at that moment it really just solidified that, okay, this is something good.
You know, it's such a small thing, a gift of money for them, but you know, you do what you can to help them out as much as you can, and then having the bank allow us to do that, and the compassion that lives. I mean, you can see it within our employees, that everybody kind of lives that, and it's very important to everybody. It's very important to the community.
All of these things are happening around us all the time, and it's just whether we choose to pay attention and whether we choose to notice. And we don't always do that.
The good thing about Nate and Shane is they're just really a couple smart guys, and they'll use it to really use the momentum to keep moving on, keep helping people, turn it into something really great.
For now, what we know it continues as is just, like we talked about before, our eyes being a little more open, and hopefully some of the people who follow this, their eyes being a little bit more open. That's where we know it will continue. Beyond that, who knows, but could be anything.